Welcome to MCTV This Week. This week we are starting a new interview series called The Inside Scoop, where we explore the campus community and beyond and bring you in on some of the amazing things the Monmouth College community and the surrounding area has to offer. This week we have Cal Martin with us, the Instructional Technology Manager. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
I know that you are a new addition to the Monmouth College community. Can you give us a little background about you?
Yeah, well, I'm the Instructional Technology Manager, like you said, and that means that I work with faculty members here to help them integrate technology into the classroom and into their curriculum pedagogically. So I'm not an IT support guy, although I do a little bit of that when needed, but really my focus here is mainly on helping to get those tools that teachers want to use to help them get their points across and help students learn better from different angles.
That's great. How can they interact with the new emerging system and bettering the environment for learning?
Yeah, well, one of the big systems that we have now is this virtual reality system. We use Oculus Rift, which a lot of people are familiar with. It's a consumer-level virtual reality system, but you can use it in an educational environment. It's not just for games. And so we have a couple of those systems now on campus, and really it's not just for teachers to use, though. I mean, we've had many more students use them than teachers at this point. Anybody on campus can use those systems. And I think you have some more questions for me later on about how exactly all the details are going to work with who's using it right now. But the uses are really very, very broad. And that's one of the great things about having this virtual reality system.
That's awesome. We met on Classics Day, and we was on a program. What was that program called?
Yeah, it's called Unimmersive, which is kind of a weird way of spelling university and immersive, kind of putting those together, you know. And you may think it says unimmersive, so there wasn't really some forethought there, but it's called Unimmersive. Yeah, and this program was great. It's so Classics Day was this whole event focused on the ancient world and you know, all those things that went along with it. And by using this virtual reality system, we were able to put some people, yourself included, into a recreated Roman environment like it would have looked back in the first centuries AD or CE. Yeah, so that's how we use it in Classics Day, just to give people a feel for what Rome might have looked like. Because you can see the ruins now, and you have to kind of envision what it might have looked like. And with virtual reality, one of the great things is you can have a much better sense of what things might have looked like with scale, with color, with you know, even a little bit of animation for people walking around. So it was a really, really great tool we were able to use to help people really connect with that classics environment.
Awesome. There are other apps this system has, and I was curious about the NASA Exoplanet Excursion VR experience.
Yeah. So with virtual reality, one of the great things and one of the reasons it fits so well with a liberal arts environment is because, like I said just a minute ago, the applications are so broad. So yeah, you have the applications that let you take virtual field trips, even back in time to like ancient Rome. You've got Google Earth that can put you anywhere on the planet currently, as long as Google's been there, you know, and they've been everywhere. So you can pretty much go anywhere. But there are also apps that put you inside cells, you know, apps that put you in the farthest reaches of the galaxy, which is another one of those that you tried with NASA. And NASA has actually put out virtual reality apps that give you a tour of our solar system and kind of tell you, here's the sun, here's Venus, here's Earth, and put you outside of it and give you all these stats about it and densities and distances. And it's all stuff that you might read in a textbook or hear in a lecture or a podcast or just any number of places or even a YouTube video. But the difference is by using this virtual reality environment, it puts you there in space and you're looking down at Earth. So it's the same information, but it's experiential. You know, it's a different dimension that helps you connect with the content in a new way that you may not have connected with it before.
Wow, that's amazing. How is this affecting learning? As this is a new program and is really touching on teachers, what are some, this is very interesting, and I was trying to see is, how is this going to affect the liberal arts education for the future?
Yeah, well, liberal arts, like I said, is a very broad set of disciplines. You know, it's well-rounded. It's supposed to produce someone who has a broad, well-rounded education. And VR fits very well into that because it does have all those applications with it. And it really adds that experiential dynamic to just about anything you want to learn, you know. We've got students who are going to be using the virtual reality systems for research in psychology. We've got other students who are going to use it for experiencing an Egyptian tomb without having to actually go to Egypt. It puts them there in the tomb and gives narration and commentary as they're in there. So, you know, in a liberal arts environment, we also cater to all different types of learning styles. And some people are much more receptive to audio learning, some are more receptive to visual, some are more receptive to kinetic learning. And this really helps address another of those learning styles as well. So with our broad range of students that are in this broad range of liberal arts, we have just one more tool in the toolbox to help people, again, connect with that content.
That is amazing. And now that we know more about this program, where is the VR system currently?
Yeah, we're up, well, my office is in the first floor of the Center for Science and Business, CSB. I always say CSB, and I just forgot what it stood for.
Everybody calls it the CSB.
Right, yeah, we're in the first floor of the CSB, my office is, but the VR systems are actually right now housed up in the third floor in the Medhurst Theater, which is currently an unfinished space. Eventually it's going to be a planetarium, which will be another exciting tool in our toolbox to use for that. But until we get that finished, that's where the VR systems are. We've got 2 of them right now. And it provides us a lot of open space. You know, with VR, you need space to move around sometimes. And so that's where we're located if anybody needs to use it. Now, it is locked down, the access. Eventually, I want to get it into a place that's a little more accessible if students want to go in there and just do their own research using it, or maybe even build a VR environment for themselves. These systems are well capable of doing that too. But right now, where it is locked down, and so they would have to contact me if they want to get in there. But I'm available, you know, most of the time. So if anybody does ever want to get in there and mess around with it, or use it for research, or just play some VR games, you know, I'm always down for that too.
Absolutely, I'll definitely hit you up for that. So now that we know more about this program, I'm excited to see it expand and see it grow. And although this environment isn't, you know, prepped and maybe doesn't look the best, it doesn't really matter what the environment looks like when you're in a virtual reality.
That's very true.
That's it for the Inside Scoop. I'm Denzel Johnson, and I also would like to thank you once again, Cal Martin, for being here with me in the studio. We'll be back with you with our regular MCTV next week. You can also watch us on the web at monmouthcollege.edu/MCTV. See you next time.